Is this thing on? Is it recording? Hey, are you recording? Okay, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, and welcome back, guys. New Year, same me. Same bullshit. Still gotta go to work. But at least we've had some holiday in between. For those who did have, for those who didn't have, I'm sorry. Take it up with your boss. So, it's been a while since I posted anything on YouTube, and I got my new camera. And I might as well use it to do something cool this time, which I think I did. I had an old bass. It's the bass that I use when I record all of my songs. So it doesn't have to be the most expensive because I'm not a bassist. I don't really care about the difference in tones and stuff that you get from them. I've got that one and it works. It's an old SX, and trust me when I say it was f***ed. It's old, it was dirty. You know, I thought, let me do something cool for my next video, which is, can a person with very little DIY skills, and I'm not even joking, I've got like the least amount of DIY skills, refinish a bass guitar, or any guitar for that matter. I went and I looked at a bunch of videos and they looked complicated and time consuming, and I'm like, since I've got severe ADHD, I hate things which are time consuming. Like,
hate things which are time consuming.
And I thought, hey, how many of you are there that would also like to do this, that also don't like wasting time, and that want things done now? Well, I certainly am. So I took up the challenge. Can any person refinish a guitar? So that's what I decided to do. I refinished my bass guitar. I sanded it down, I painted it, and I made it look nice. Do you need a professional to get a professional job done? Yes. Did I do it perfectly? No. Will I do it ever again? No. But I had fun, and this is to show you that anyone can do it if they wanted to. So, how did I turn this into this? Let's go. So the first thing I had to do was deconstruct the bass. I started with all the strings, obviously, and then went over to the scratch plate, as you can see here. The scratch plate's screws were old, so I struggled a bit longer than I wanted to, but eventually I got everything off. Now, a very important step is to take a picture of the electronics you have inside the bass or guitar to make sure that you're not googling your butt off looking for the right diagrams when you rebuild it. Out comes the electronics and then the pickups. As you can see here, I decided to mark my pickups, which is also very important to know which one is the bridge and which one is the neck when you put them back. The bridge came next. That took a while because there's like 7 million screws in there. And then the neck. Those are big screws and you don't want to mess up the screws, so make sure you have the right tools. But eventually the neck came off. Then the sanding came. This took ages. As in forever. As in, without an orbital sander, it took me millions of years. And then I used one and won. Yes, I did. After the sanding comes the painting. First things first, build yourself a nice painting station so that you don't mess any paint on your outdoor furniture and piss off your wife. Trust me. Another very important step is to fill all the holes. Get it? You don't want any paint or clear coat in any of the cavities when you're busy, especially the neck. The neck can't be higher or lower than when you started. That is very important. I then proceeded on to the first coat, which is a primer. The primer is used to get the base of the body nice and white to make sure that the color I use pops. If I just went with the natural wood, it wouldn't have been so pink. Then I moved on to the pink. The pink was nice and shocking. I used 2 cans, so multiple layers without sanding in between. The painting was perfect. The paint sat properly, and then I had to move on to the clear coat. That was terrible. With wind blowing, as you can see behind me, I messed it up in all of the ways possible. I got dirt on the clear coat. It was uneven and runny and looked gross, and I was just like over it all. But I couldn't give up, because this is a project for people who don't know how to do this. That's when I read you can wet sand it. Leave your sanding paper in water overnight, use a 600 and 1000 because that's all I could find, and then sand it nice and smooth. And then I used car polish that I bought at a local shop here. That helped and got the clear coat nice and smooth and the guitar nice and shiny. I was surprised that it worked that well. The next step was the scratch plate. As the old one looked like absolute dog shit, I decided to ask a professional, my drummer, to help me make one. This is my drummer, he makes things.
And make things happen.
He's currently designing my scratch plate for me, which is over there. Ooh, yes. Sexy. This is so cool. I decided not to speed up most of this video because, come on, who doesn't like looking at lasers cutting things? I mean, it's a freaking laser cutting through wood, and it makes cool noises as well. Damn, bro. Thanks, JP. So now the rebuilding process started. First I had to put on the neck again, which is what I did. Make sure those bolts are nice and tight in there. You don't want the neck falling or snapping off as soon as you restring. Then the electronics had to go in. I struggled with the freaking pickups because there are like 9,000 holes inside and none of them were right. So I just like got it in there somehow, but it worked. All the pickups were in, then came the electronics. Luckily I took a picture before I disassembled the base of what the schematics and diagrams look like. That made my life so much easier when I started the soldering process. Next I had to drill a few holes into the scratch plate to make sure that it sits nice and snug on the base, and screwed that right in there. Last I had to put on the strings, make sure that the neck's profile was still right, and then finally I was complete. Look at it, guys. Look at it. It's beautiful. There we go. See? Easy. Not time consuming at all. The palm of my hand totally isn't messed up from all the screwing and what. But you know, as an outro for this video, I guess all of us want to know what this bass guitar sounds like. So let us do it. Alright, let's see what this baby sounds like. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. Have a good one, guys. Have a good 2024, or if you don't, at least have a 2024. See you in the next vid.